New tonight, how much did the Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill have to drink the night he is accused of groping 4 women in a bar? The details of that night are coming to light in new court documents.
It comes as part of Indiana's Supreme Court disciplinary hearing that could cost Hill his license to practice law. News 8's Richard Essex following the story joins us now with more. Richard?
Now, this is separate from the criminal allegations that are made by 4 women back in 2018. The Disciplinary Commission deals strictly with lawyers and judges, and they can't suspend a lawyer even without criminal allegations or charges. 4 women have accused Indiana Attorney General Curtis Hill of touching them inappropriately at the end of the General Assembly party held at AJ's Lounge on South Meridian Street in 2018. These parties are a staple of the State House and are typically when lawmakers, staff, and lobbyists let their hair down, so to speak, and reflect upon the session. The party is typically an open bar, and the tab is picked up by lobbyists. In court documents filed this week, Hill says that day he worked out in the morning, didn't have much to eat, and he worked at his office until later in the afternoon. He then walked to the Capitol Grill on Washington Street, where he had 2 glasses of wine with some lobbyists and others that had gathered there at the bar. That same group of people then went down the street to the 1933 bar at St. Elmo's, which is where he had another glass of wine. At around midnight, 6 people, including Hill, took an Uber and headed to the party at AJ's Lounge. Hill had 1 vodka martini, which he says in court documents, he sipped that martini for some time. While standing at the bar, he was offered a shot of Fireball, a cinnamon-flavored whiskey, which he drank. Hill's lawyers also say the 4 women that have made the accusations had also been drinking that night. This afternoon, his lawyers had their first crack at convincing the members of the Indiana Supreme Court Disciplinary Commission that Hill's behavior that night should not result in his law license being revoked or suspended. If the commission feels that there is clear and convincing evidence that he acted inappropriately that night, he could face penalties. Come during hearings later on this month. The decision will come later on this month. Now, there were also, remember, there was a special prosecutor here in Marion County that reviewed the allegations against Hill. That prosecutor said that he believed the women, but there was not enough evidence to file charges. In the studio, Richard Essex, Wish TV News 8.